Hello and welcome to our study, Atheists versus Theists, Religious Polarization in Arab Online Communities. This work is done by me, Youssef Hariri, and Walid, Magdy, and Maria Wolters. The three authors are part of School of Informatics at the University of Edinburgh. Researchers examined sentiments, linguistics, and religious and non-religious contents over social media platforms and mainly Twitter. And they found religious-based messages included in the post. For example, we have Abu Khder et al. 2020. The study shows that users share Quran verses as an extension for their religious practices. However, few studies of religious discussion between Arabs on social media, while most of these studies focus on hate speech or political extremism. To best of our knowledge, no studies consider the religious and non-religious polarization in Arab Twitter sphere. Most importantly, atheism and religious doubts are criminalized socially and legally in the Arab societies. Here are the research questions. By answering these questions, we aim to understand how Arab Twitter users discuss topics relevant to their own beliefs. To do so, we consider the account that clearly declare their position of religions. We study their following, retweeting and mentioning interactions, focusing more on influential accounts and verified accounts. We have four communities, the atheists, theists, Tanwiri, and rationalists. We consider the accounts that clearly state their position in one of these four categories. However, for the theists accounts, we consider the accounts that clearly declare the position and they used their accounts to refute atheism. As if we consider the accounts that state their religion, we got a huge number of users or a very large network. Then we started with data collection. We identified a list of 118 Arabic terms used to describe the position of religions. We used the tool follower wonk to extract the accounts that used any one of these terms, and we were able to find 5,010 accounts used any of these terms to describe their position or to describe themselves. After clearing irrelevant accounts, we got 2,356 accounts, and we expand the set just in case the follower wonk missed any of these accounts, and we were able to expand the active and irrelevant account to be 2,673 accounts. We name it seed list. We went through each account of these accounts to clear irrelevant accounts, and we to make sure that the label is correct. For example, here we got some accounts that use the term atheist or religion while they are from the same or different category. So we went through all these accounts to make sure about the categorization. At the end of this step, we got half of the accounts as atheists, a quarter of them are theists, and the rest distributed between Tanwiri and rationalists. The theist group is distributed between Muslims for 644 accounts and 32 Christians, 3 jihadis, 3 Hindus, and 1 Jewish. Then we started with collecting the networks. Regarding the follow network, we were interested in, or we are interested in the accounts that at least followed by 20 accounts from the seed list, and we got 5,150. For the retweet network, we collected the accounts that retweeted by at least 10 accounts from the seed list, and we got 5,504 accounts. For the mention, we are interested in the accounts that mentioned by at least 20 accounts from the seed list. This mention network includes the reply network, any account that mentioned by or replied to by. And we got 7,707 accounts. Then we moved to analyze this network. This is the follow network as it was extracted by Giphy. We used Giphy to graph to plot the graphs and to compute the modularity formula. Here you can see the seed list account distributed over the 4 groups. We can see that we have the atheist group is distributed into 2 separate groups, and we have the theistic group. It was very interesting that the rationalist and Tanwiri are distributed among the both or the whole graph. Then we again we used Giphy to extract the connect or to print the connection among the seed list account and their follow network, and we got 7 different groups: Arab atheist, religious discussion, Arab influential, non-Arabs, Arab scholars, news, and infotainment. Again, regarding this small group, we find that this is an Arab atheists who prefer to interact with non-Arab accounts. While this large atheist group are Arab atheists who prefer to interact with Arab atheists and religious discussion group, and the theistic group prefer to interact with Arab scholars. And here is the numerical representation for the same data that we explained from the graphs. Then we analyze the retweet network, and we have almost the same pattern. We have two separate groups for the atheists and one for the theists, and rationalists and Tanwiri distributed between the atheist and theist. And then we analyzed the retweeting interaction among the seedless account and their retweet network, and we got 5 different subgroups: theist promoting, atheist promoting, religious discussion, Arab influential, and non-Arabs. Again, we have the same pattern. We have this small atheist group prefer to interact with non-Arab groups, and we have this large atheist group prefer to interact with Arab atheist and religious discussion groups, and we have the religious group or theistic group interact with the theistic promoting group. Here is the numerical representation for the same data that the graphs show. And lastly, we analyzed the mention network. We got a different story. We got 2 small groups for atheists, and we have no theistic group. The theistic group is distributed among the whole graph as rationalist and Tanwiri. So we can't say that the religious group is separated from or polarized from the atheist group regarding the mentioning. By analyzing the mention network among the seedless accounts and their mention network, we got 4 different groups: religious discussion, Arab influential, Arab atheists, and non-Arabs. Again, the small atheist group polarized from the vast majority of the atheists prefer to interact with non-Arabs. Here is the numerical representation for the same data that the graphs show. Then we moved to topic extraction by using LDA, and we were able to extract these topics from each group. We have Arab influential group prefers to talk about ideas and interactions, wars and nations, and social life, while Arab atheists prefer to talk about religions and conflicts, Islam and Islamic rules and freedom. Religious discussion group prefers to talk about metaphysics, legislation, and rationalism and relationships, and non-Arabs prefer to talk about bigotry and prejudice, Muhammad and Jesus Christ, and ex-Muslims. To sum up, we applied an in-depth network analysis to understand the religion polarization between Arab atheists and theists on Twitter. We found that there is a clear polarization on atheism topic in the Arab social media, especially in the follower retweeter networks. Discussion network shows a large discussion among different groups. In general, Tanwiri and rationalist accounts act as a bridge between atheist and theist accounts. Theist accounts are tightly connected to famous Muslim scholars who refute atheism. We found that atheists are not one group but multiple, including religion refuters, arguers, Arab connected atheists, non-Arab connected atheists. Arab atheists connected to Western networks create an echo chamber, and they are isolated from most Arab networks, including other atheists. And they tweet mostly in English. Regarding the implication for CHI and CSCW, our findings illustrate that the study of religion polarization cannot be separated from culture, regardless of their attitudes to religion. Users from the 4 categories follow, retweet, and interact with local news, journalists, political figures, and sport clubs. Our findings show that it's counterproductive to reduce religious affiliation to political stances and vice versa. Our analysis is strongly contextualized within Arab culture, with acknowledging and incorporating cultural differences contributed by Arab authors. Thank you very much.